Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, and how to build strong relationships in your family. I do this by teaching the principle of self-government. In this video, we're going to be talking about how subjectivism keeps parents passive. In this video, we're going to be talking about what subjectivism is, how it relates to parenting, and what parents think being subjective will do for their children versus what actually happens, and then what to do about it. So what is subjectivism? When a person is subjective, that means that they are heavily influenced on the feelings and opinions and tastes that they have and that other people around them might have too. So they get sucked into certain mindsets fairly easily. So by contrast, an objective person is a person who is not as easily influenced by their own personal feelings, thoughts, and opinions, or by those of others, but they research things out and they study the facts. They try to consider all of the pieces of the puzzle before they come down to what they think might be truth. So many parents unknowingly practice subjectivism in their parenting. And the reason why they do this is they think it actually will benefit them and their children. See, they have things that they feel passionately about, or maybe things that bother them, that they want to be handled. And so they present those things as ultimate rights or ultimate wrongs. They think that will help everything run smoother in the home. They think that their children will end up adopting those same ultimate rights and ultimate wrongs, that they will become subjective like their parents. The thing is every person is actually looking for truth. They're not looking for opinion. Opinions can be valuable. They can help a person launch off to find another viewpoint, possibly, or to start looking into details more and more, but usually, a person ends up getting stuck if they only have opinions to work with. So, the way that a person finds ultimate truth is by researching something even more, by asking more questions and going deeper. When your children do not get the opportunity to go deeper because you are subjective and emotional in your parenting, then that person starts to feel walked on. When parents are basing their parenting on what they feel like or what the common consensus is around them from other parents, what happens is the children start to feel like they're just being used by the parents, or that they're not really cared about that much, but they're just being manipulated to make things go properly. This could be a parent who has a task mindset where they're like detail task oriented, do this, do this, do this, do this, check, 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 check. Then suddenly the child thinks, am I just another thing on the list, right? Because the list is what matters to the parent instead of the people. People usually who are more objective keep a big picture view. They don't get stuck in the details of how they feel in that minute or what they want done in that minute or what's bothering them in that minute. But the parents that do get stuck in those three hangups oftentimes end up either being very passive in their parenting or aggressive in their parenting. Today, I'd like to spend some time talking about passivity and what it looks like to be passive in your parenting. When a parent is being passive because of subjectivism, then usually that looks like they are the victim of what's going on around them. In fact, I meet with many parents, and so many of them are just spent. They're done. They don't know if they can handle any more of it. They feel like their child has mistreated them, that they've not been grateful to them, that they have overrun the culture of their home. They don't know how to bring the child back to the family unit at all. And so they feel hopeless and helpless. This is what it looks like when a parent has spent a lot of time focusing on each little subjective feeling all the time, their feelings as well as the feelings of the children. They end up walking on eggshells to try to not hurt the child's feelings and unknowingly make the child the boss. They put the child's emotions and feelings in charge, hoping that if they do that, the child will also care about them and their thoughts and feelings. But it doesn't happen because the roles are thrown out of balance. A child needs to have the roles put in the right place, meaning they understand the parental authority and what the role of child is, which is to be a learner, in order to keep the family bonds fully functional. If the family bonds end up falling into dysfunction, then the parent gets a loss of power and the child feels abandoned, even though they've had all of the power handed to them. Children need leadership. They crave it, and that means that we have to maintain our parental authority. They require it for their sense of well-being and purpose for the future. We're going to talk about what you can do to create an environment where you are not subjective in your parenting and not losing that parental role. But first, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and hey, subscribe too if you want more of this content. So we've been talking a lot about parental authority, and you've heard me use the word role. What does role mean? It's actually the character that you are supposed to play in any given situation. So in your family, what is your role? The role of mother, the role of father, the role of 15-year-old son or 13-year-old daughter, they might look differently. So this book, Roles, is actually all about roles. It's called Roles, The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. And it's a story of a family who doesn't have their roles in the right place. You see the struggles that they go through, and then you see how they fix their roles and what happens to their family when they finally recognize who they are. And when I say roles, I don't mean responsibilities, because anybody can mow the lawn or make a dinner. Those are just things that we do, sometimes because of our roles, but anyone could actually do them. So what does it really mean to be mother? Well, a mother is a heart and hearthstone of her family. She actually holds the heartstrings of her children. She guides them until the children hit about age 12. When the children hit about age 11 or 12, they look to dad for what they want to be like as an adult. They say, okay, well, dad's the one who seems to be more out in touch with the world, and so that's the example I want to follow. So if dad is watching TV all the time, if dad's scrolling on his phone all the time, then they think that's what the meaning of life is, and they start to follow dad's example. So if dad is going to be a protector of his children, which usually he is, he's got to make sure that he is setting the right example. Otherwise, his children will not be protected. He also needs to make sure that he turns his children's hearts back toward the mother regularly so that the mother can continue to have that good moral influence on her children. If not, they might abandon. So what do you do about it? Number one, make sure everybody understands their roles and take some time to get the roles in the right place. Develop good relationships based upon those roles so that everybody finds happiness and security in who they are as part of the family unit. Another thing that you can do is make sure that you deliberately plan for the future of your family, not just what's happening right in the minute. So often parents get myopic and they get stuck in what's going on right in the minute. Oh, my child is having this kind of a problem. I need to handle it. That's true, but who is the child for the long term with the family? We can't lose that focus. In my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, it's called the TSG Parenting course. It's on teachingselfgovernment.com, which is my website. I talk about creating a vision for the future with a family and getting everybody invested into who they're becoming in the future. We create 10 or 20-year visions of who the family is becoming in the future so that they have something to work toward as they're handling all of those problems. Then when the children have moments when maybe they don't get along or they're having a time where they're talking back to parents, something like that, we can bring them back to this big picture of who we're becoming as a family as a reason why we need to correct the problem. That helps everybody stay invested in who they're becoming personally as well as part of the group. If you would like some additional help with your family getting on the same page in parenting and learning about this vision as well as what you can do to solve the problems in a unified way, this is what I recommend. Parenting a House United. This is my best-selling book. It's what I'm the most known for. Out of all of my 11 books, this is the one that has sold the most copies. This book lays the foundation for a system and a structure where you and your children can learn to communicate with self-government. You can be calm, solve your problems, and have that type of unity that you desire for your family. I would like to share with you some tools for what you can do to be more objective in your parenting so that you can help children have better lives. So if you've enjoyed this video, then I know you'll love my next video, which is called Subjective versus Objective Parenting. Click on the link to that video now. I'll see you there.